The last Bexar County District Court, 408th, we have Milton Fagin, who will be allowed to say just an opening remark, and Larry Noll, representative for Larry Noll. Yes, Alice Guerra. Larry Noll will not be present. He is recovering from open heart surgery.
Thank you, Margaret. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's an honor to be with Margaret because, you know, when you went to Andy Morales' court, he was pretty strict. It didn't matter if it was a Democrat club or if he knew you. And I've been practicing law in this community for 39 years, so I think I have a say in, you know, how the courthouse runs, how it should run. I went to Southern Methodist University where I received my BA degree in political science, and St. Mary's Law School where I received my law degree. I was on the Dean's List. I was on the Law Review. I've been board certified in family law for 33 years. I'm also a member of the College of the State Bar of Texas, which means I have a lot of CLE. I've tried to run a positive campaign, and you know, I've met a lot of voters. This court is an important court. It's a civil court. A civil court means it affects everyone in this room, perhaps your family, relatives, neighbors. There's a lot of family law besides personal injury, contracts. I've tried many cases before the bench, thousands, and many jury cases, so I think I know, you know, how the court works. I've been fighting for women and families for 39 years. And, you know, I think coming from the private sector, one that has not been in public service before, I think I bring not so much a fresh approach, but I think I know what's happening on the street, what's happening in that courthouse, and how difficult it is for many of the women and the families to get justice in that court. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Fagin. For Larry Noll, we have Ms. Alice Guerra.
Good evening. Thank you so much for being here and for waiting it out to hear us also. The 408th, we're one of the last judicial courts that are here represented tonight. I'm Alice Guerra, and I'm the political consultant for Judge Larry Noll. I've had the pleasure and the honor to bring him to the district court that he holds now and run his campaign. He is a qualified legal scholar, has been a judge for 18 years, and a teacher of family law, board certified both in family law and board certified in real estate law. And he has taught at St. Mary's University and is still teaching at St. Mary's University for the last 24 years. I ask you to consider Judge Larry Noll qualified and vote Noll at the poll.
Thank you. Thank you both for coming. Yes, that's it. Thank you. All right, now we're going to move on to the Justice of the Peace candidates, and if we could possibly have them all up here. After that, we'll follow with the constable and then the state board. I believe we have Monica Caballero, Robert De Leon, Steve Walker, and Tomas Uresti, right? On the list. Okay, let me just make sure we have everybody. 4 people. Okay. This is for Precinct 1 over here and Precinct 2. Easy to remember. All right, let's start with candidates over there. You have 1 minute for an opening statement. We'll probably have 1 question and then a closing statement. All right, we'll start with Monica Caballero.
Good evening. Hi, I'm Monica Caballero. I am the current Justice of the Peace for Precinct 1, Place 1. Out of the 6 JPs that are currently serving right now, I am the only female, so I'm in a lonely group. But I am an attorney. I've been an attorney almost 16 years. I graduated from Incarnate Word High School here in town, went to San Antonio College, I'm very proud of that, and graduated from UT Austin, and my law degree is from Texas Tech. I think it's very important for your Justice of the Peace to be a licensed attorney, to have been to law school. It just makes sense. It isn't a requirement, but why would you settle for less than that? 20 seconds, okay. I've done a wonderful job serving you. We have no backlog at our court. When I order community service to our juveniles, I do it with them. You have to lead by example. Thank you for your time, and I would love to continue serving you and doing a good job for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Uresti?
Thank you for having me tonight. I am also seeking the position of Justice of the Peace in Precinct 1, Place 1. I am not an attorney. This is a people's court where individuals that come in that may not be able to afford the representation of legal counsel can come in and have their cases heard by somebody that comes from somebody of their own peers. That's the main reason that I seek this position of Justice of the Peace. It's something that somebody that has actually walked in their shoes, in everybody's shoes, can hear their cases in a case where someone cannot officially or cannot represent or not be able to actually afford representation. Again, this is why it is a people's court. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. De Leon?
My name is Robert De Leon. I'm running for Justice of the Peace of Precinct 2. That's the northwest part of San Antonio. This particular court handles 4 areas of the law. And it handles truancy cases, handles small claims, misdemeanors, and out of the 4, the 2 areas that I think are of major concern to, and should be to all of us, is truancy, which this court handles, and small claims. And the reason for those 2 areas is that we do have a problem with truancy. Truancy leads to dropouts, and eventually we pay the price. The other area that I'm very concerned about is taking care of senior citizens. They're often taken advantage of, and I want to make it easy for them.
Thank you, Mr. De Leon.
I want to make it easy for them to file their cases. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. De Leon. Mr. Walker?
I'm Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Steve Walker. I'm a retired teacher. I'm not a lawyer either. And since everybody's up here telling about they're the only one, I'm the only one in the justice in my court that served in Vietnam, like Larry Ricketts. Okay. Thank you. I have an extensive background in media, and for a cheap shot, real quick tonight on WOAI. On the troubleshooter, Brian Collister is going to go undercover and expose the scams on truant kids who are looking for diplomas other than school. And so I'll just say, watch it. I'll be on there tonight.
Okay, thank you. All right, now the first question, and we'll have only one question and then closing remarks. Mr. Uresti. Do you believe your position can be influential in preventing school dropouts?
Very, very much so. Right now, I mentor between 200 and 300 children annually. I have them visit my business to show them what it means if they continue on after school, after the basic schooling, to go on to college, and especially go on to get a bachelor's degree and master's degree, and hopefully in business. Being that I am self-employed, this is something that I really would like to share with the children. By keeping them involved and by mentoring the children as the way I do, and I hope that the other judges will follow, it can keep children from having to come out of school. There's no reason that a child should have to, unless it be something detrimental to their family where they have to leave. Other than that, we have to find a way to keep children in school no matter what. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Uresti. Mr. De Leon?
Same question.
Yes. Do you believe your position can be influential in preventing school dropouts?
I believe that what a Justice of the Peace does in a community is involve the whole community to ensure that kids stay in school. It takes community groups, nonprofits, church groups, especially the Justice of the Peace Court. This is where these kids first encounter the judicial system. And I think it is incumbent upon us as judges of the Justice of the Peace Court to start the process to make sure that these students stay in school. Like I say, they're going to cost you sooner or later. So I think we should start right here.
Thank you. Mr. Walker?
Well, as the truancy judge and the retired teacher, I'm already making inroads. One of the biggest things we do differently than other JPs is I mandate that all students have library cards. They must do a 2-page book report, and now they must get 8 hours of mandatory tutoring. They either get tutored or they go back in school and tutor. I've worked with Ms. Cockrell at Jefferson. She set up the tutoring program. We're working real well together. And yes, this is where it starts, and I think as a teacher, I can address it better than lawyers or others.
Thank you. Ms. Caballero?
Truancy is only about 20% of the caseload that we have at the JP court. I do believe that policy at the school districts, the problem of addressing truancy has to begin there. Once the children end up in our court, we try our best to instill programs, make sure they get counseling, get to the root of the problem so they don't reoffend. But it isn't the judge's job to stop truancy. It's our job to address it so that it doesn't reoccur. Currently at our court, when we address truancy, we issue orders that involve getting children counseling, whether it's counseling for parents who are divorcing, if it's children that are dealing with a death at home and they're missing school. It is our job to get to the root of the cause and see what we can do to get that child help and not to fine them. Fines are the last thing that we need to be doing to these families. But addressing their cases one by one is the best policy. Thank you.
Thank you. Now for 1 minute closing remarks. Mr. De Leon.
First of all, let me thank you for staying this late and listening to us. I have been a public servant all of my adult life. I started serving in the Marine Corps. After being honorably discharged from the Marine Corps, I became a police officer. After that, I decided I wanted to go to law school, and I came to San Antonio, St. Mary's University. I'm an attorney. I have practiced law for the last 30-some years. I started my legal career with the district attorney's office, and I prosecuted in justice court, county court, and district court, cases from small misdemeanors all the way to capital murder. I love serving the public. Now, we're the only court that serves a particular section of the county. And it's, in our case, it's the northwest part. If you don't know whether or not you are in Precinct 2, here's the map. I ask for your vote, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. De Leon. Mr. Walker?
Okay, it's the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay, the bottom line is I'm doing a good job. And one of the other things I do in my court, I allow the media total access. And some judges get a little scary about that, but the bottom line is if they are in the court and cover the cases, everybody knows what's going on. And so the bottom line is that's why a lot of you see me in TV all the time. Not for me, but because of the court. And so I just think that I've been told I do a good job. I'm the guy that does the truancy. And kids skip because they're bored or they're not good students or there's domestic violence, okay? And I agree with Judge Caballero. We're not supposed to stop it, but we're supposed to address it where it will get stopped. And my last thing I will say to Robert De Leon's wife, who just got elected mayor again for Balcones Heights, congratulations. I had the pleasure of serving on the council with her back in the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Caballero?
The JP court is a serious court. Did you know that we handle underage DUIs? I had a case about 2 years ago where there was a fatality. We hear cases that involve jurisdictional issues, people fighting over money up to $10,000. Today I had pretrial matters that took an hour on a case, just the pretrial matters alone. These courts should not be left up to someone that doesn't have a serious background to handle these serious cases. Once again, I'm the only attorney running for this court, the only one that graduated from college, the only one with a high school diploma. You have to instill in the children and the people that come to your court that you have to lead by example. You have to have the background to be serious with serious cases. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mr. Uresti?
Ms. Caballero is correct. This is a very serious position. It's not something to take very lightly. In the JP court, there are several different types of cases that are heard. But the one most important issue that's being heard is the truancy issue. Every day that a child does not attend school, all the other children and all the other families suffer. Revenues that we receive from the state are lost every single day that a child does not attend. It's time to hold those parents accountable that refuse to repeatedly not send their children to school. And yes, there is a difference between having a law degree and not having a law degree. Yes, I do not have one. But again, this is working with my peers, and I'm not knocking any attorney by any means whatsoever. I have brothers that are attorneys, I have nephews that are attorneys, so I'm not knocking attorneys by any means. But again, this is something that is a very, very serious court, and I think that somebody that has the experience and the background of what's being come forward. I've been on the Harlandale ISD for over 10 years now. I was elected to the board of directors for the Guerra County Appraisal District over 2 years now, and I handle a budget of over $113 million a year with our school district and over $13 million a year with the Guerra County Appraisal District. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you